But is this, in a way, the biggest challenge before the Supreme Court? That you have both a backlog of cases, but you also have a backlog of appointments, right? There's always a delay in getting judges appointed.
There are a number of reasons. For instance, when I was a judge and Justice Deepak Mishra was the Chief Justice, our strength had reduced to the level of just 22. So we
against the sanctioned strength of 34, if I'm not mistaken.
That time it was 30. After Justice Gogoi became the Chief Justice, it was raised to 34.
34.
So as against 30, we were just about 22 judges. Number of reasons. Let us not get into those reasons.
No, why not get into some of those reasons? But
see, at times what happens is that some recommendations are made, perhaps there are certain objections from the government quarter, then they have to have certain deliberations, maybe some inquiries.
Yes.
And so in the process, perhaps I think there is a delay. Yes.
But this is a problem, is it not? Because, I mean, you know this. Just, in fact, 2 days ago, a Supreme Court bench has asked the centre to explain the delay in clearing of about a dozen names.
That's right.
Even though 10 of which was, I mean, you would be aware because this happened during your time, 10 of which was sent back by the Supreme Court, which means that the government has no grounds to sit on it. But yet, there's been no response.
See, one can't go into those questions. They may have valid reasons, but the entire process must have a dialogue at various levels. So therefore, after the collegium recommends the names, perhaps I think there must be a dialogue between the governmental agencies and the collegium. And sooner the better. Sooner you actually take care of these issues, the better. Because, for instance, see, today we are 27 as against sanctioned strength of 34. So 7 vacancies, which means 3.5 benches. 3.5 benches would mean that roughly they could take about every bench 60 matters on a Monday, Friday, 120 and 150 matters a week.
That much is getting backlogged.
That is what.
But the implication in the comments made by this bench, Justice Sanjay Kaul and Justice Abhay Uka, was keeping names on hold, I'm quoting from them, is a device to compel person to withdraw names. And needless to say that unless the bench is adorned by competent lawyers, the very concept of rule of law and justice suffers.
That maybe these are some of the comments if you consider one or two isolated incidents. Take for instance the name of a very illustrious name coming from Karnataka, whose name was recommended. And there was absolutely nothing which was heard from the governmental side for a while. The person concerned then lost interest in the matter and then withdrew his consent. So therefore, perhaps I think the bench was referring to cases like that.
Where actually the delay can become a deterrent.
The delay can put off a person and he may say that, sorry, I don't want to be part of this. And it's possible, a given condition, perhaps an individual may take a particular view in the mind.
But this seems to suggest, Justice Lalit, that this is when the judges say it's a device, it's almost seeming to suggest that the government is using the delays to kind of decide who it prefers and who it doesn't.
I may not go to that extent. It is something which the bench has to find. If the bench comes out with a conclusion like this, then yes, certainly yes.